What's up guys, VenomRB here. So today I'm going to be going over the top 5 forgotten cars in Ultimate Driving. These are cars that, people, you'll see every once in a while, but people really just never think about them, never talk about them really. They're just like forgotten, hence the name. Anyways, keep in mind these are not in any particular order. This is just, 1 through 5, doesn't mean anything. It's just, how it is. And let's get into the video. So first on the list is the Jaguar F-Type SVR. Now, this is a gift code, sort of toy code. So when you get a UD toy code, you can redeem the code and get this car or something. That's sort of how it works. I'm not too sure. Because actually, fun fact, I didn't use a toy code to get this car. This car is actually buyable. It's due to a glitch, as is the other Porsche. I'll throw it up on screen. And they're both buyable right now, so if you want to buy, the F-Type, now's your chance. But this is a forgotten car just because it's a toy code, so nobody really owns it and nobody sees it and no one really thinks about it, since obviously you can't really buy it. Next up is the Saline S5S Raptor. Now, this car, when it first came out several years ago, was really good. It had insane acceleration and even a better top speed, so it was pretty common to see back then. However, now no one really buys it because the MP412C is just better in every way, and it's not particularly good. Now, fun fact, this was my second supercar I bought in UD, so obviously I've owned this car for several years at this point. It's not a bad car by any means, it's just the stats and stuff for what you're paying just don't make it worth it. And people just don't really get it, so you don't see it, and yeah, there's really not much else to say on it. Next up is the Mazda MX30. Now, this car is just terrible. Now, this was gems, and then it was turned into cash, and it's selling like 90,000 or so. And there's a reason you never see this. It doesn't go 100 miles an hour. It's electric, and it's complete junk, basically. It's so painfully slow that there's absolutely no point in ever using it, even as like a role player. Say you want to get somewhere somewhat quick, this isn't even remotely useful for that. It's electric, which is dumb, and it's really overpriced for what you get. Handling is, as no surprise, absolute garbage, and since it's on the old chassis, you can't even off-road the thing. All in all, I don't think I need to explain why this one is forgettable, forgotten, never seen. I think, the stats speak for itself. Next up is the Saline S281R, basically Saline Mustang. Now, this car is about $50,000, a little less. And to me, it's kind of weird you don't see more of these and that they're completely forgotten, because they are. And it's not a bad car. Like, the stats aren't bad for like 45,000. And the top speed is not bad at all. The acceleration could be better, obviously, as you can tell. And it's weird to me because it's a Mustang, too, and a lot of people like Mustangs. So, I'm not sure why it's not more popular, because for what you're getting, not a bad car, but it is pretty forgotten. I mean, tell me the last time you saw one of these things. Anyways, on to the next car. And finally, the Porsche 911 GT3. Now, this is one of the oldest cars in UD. This was, back when cars were bricks. This was actually my first supercar and what I plan on hitting 100,000 miles in. Now, this car, it's fun, but it's not that great now. Like, when I bought this, it was like the best supercar you could get for the money, basically. But now it's just not good because it has a lower top speed of just under 200, and the cash isn't particularly great on it. This car is rarely seen, and in my opinion, probably the most forgotten car in UD, because like no one uses this thing. It's like never seen. I haven't seen one of these in so long, like a year now, that hasn't been my own, just cruising around, whereas I've seen the others. Pretty much seen every car but this car in a long time. So in my opinion, this is the least seen car, most forgotten car, whatever I'm going to title this video. It is that. Now on to 2 honorable mentions. So first for my honorable mentions is the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale, and this is a pretty forgotten car. You don't see these very often. And I mean, there's really not much to say on it. This is a rank 350 car, which is really why you don't see that many, because while it's not a super high rank, you're getting somewhat higher, and it's also not any good for grinding and stuff. And the final honorable mention is the Cento Dieci, Cento Dieci, Cento something. It's French language. You know, I'm not good at that crap. This car is sort of forgotten, but not at the same time. It's forgotten because you rarely see them, so you don't really think about it much, but it's not forgotten in the sense that this will forever pretty much be known as the biggest ripoff in UD history. This car is such a terrible deal for what you get, and you still see them sometimes just as a flex. So this is the final honorable mention. Just like the 350 rank 350 car, I mean, it's like they're rare to see, they're forgotten, but at the same time they're not, so they can't really be in the video. But yeah, those are the 2 honorable mentions. Anyways, that is going to do it for today's video. If you agree with me or whatever, you can leave a like. If you're new, please subscribe. I wouldn't usually ask, but I'm so close to 2,000 subs, and that would be epic. Also, I apologize that I'm doing different types of videos, like these list things. I'm going to be back to other videos soon, and I'm going to explain that in a announcements video that'll also be coming out tonight. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and Venom out.